What does courage look like? Sometimes it doesn't roar. Sometimes it doesn't shout. Sometimes courage is quiet. It walks softly with dignity. It sits down when the world demands it stand. This is the story of Rosa Parks, a seamstress, a sister, a woman, a warrior. In a world built on silence and submission, she lit a fire of resistance with a single powerful word. No. This is not just history. This is a blueprint of bravery. A reminder that one act, no matter how small it seems, can shake nations. Let's sit beside Rosa for a moment and listen to her journey. Rosa Louise McCauley was born on February 4th, 1913, in Tuskegee, Alabama. She grew up in the Deep South, where segregation was law and racism was a part of daily life. Black children were taught to look down when white people passed. Buses had separate seating. Water fountains were labeled. And education, unequal and underfunded. But Rosa had something rare in those times, a fire in her spirit and a backbone of steel. She was raised by her grandparents, former slaves who told her stories of resistance. Her mother, a teacher, believed in education. Rosa learned early on that she was equal, that her soul was not for sale, that silence sometimes was the loudest scream. In her early adulthood, Rosa worked as a seamstress in Montgomery. She stitched clothes by day and stitched together clothes by night. She joined the NAACP in 1943, long before she became famous. There, she worked to document cases of racial violence, especially the rape of black women, cases no one wanted to speak of. Rosa Parks was not new to the fight. She was already in the trenches. But life wasn't easy. She faced harassment, fear, constant pressure to stay in her place. She and her husband, Raymond Parks, lived with a deep awareness. Speaking out could mean losing jobs, getting arrested, or worse. She didn't stop. On a cold winter evening, Rosa boarded the Cleveland Avenue bus in Montgomery. She sat in the colored section. As the bus filled up, a white man demanded her seat, and Rosa quietly refused. That refusal wasn't the start of the movement. It was the spark that ignited the fire. She was arrested. And in that moment, history tilted. Her quiet defiance triggered the Montgomery bus boycott, led by a young minister named Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For 381 days, Black residents of Montgomery refused to ride the buses. They walked miles to work. They carpooled. They stood united. They turned inconvenience into resistance. After the boycott, Rosa Parks became a symbol of resistance, but her personal life became harder. She lost her job. Her husband quit his job due to stress. They received threats. They had to leave Montgomery and move to Detroit, seeking peace and work. Even in Detroit, racism didn't vanish. But Rosa kept going. She worked as a secretary for Congressman John Conyers for over 2 decades. She kept fighting against police, brutality, against poverty, for housing, for education. Her strength wasn't just in a moment. It was in her consistent, quiet resistance over decades. Rosa Parks lived a long, rich life. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Gold Medal, and over 40 honorary doctorates. But more than awards, her impact was immortal. She lived to see a black mayor, a black president hopeful, and generations inspired by her courage. On October 24, 2005, Rosa Parks passed away at the age of 92. She became the first woman to lie in honor in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, and as people passed by her casket, many whispered not just "thank you," but "I'll carry the torch." You don't need a stage to be a leader. You don't need a megaphone to make a statement. Sometimes all you need is the courage to say no when the world demands yes. Rosa Parks didn't just change the law. She awakened a people. She wasn't looking for fame. She was just tired of giving in. And that was enough to change the world. So the next time you're afraid to speak, remember the woman who sat so. Others could stand, who whispered no, and created a revolution. Be still, be brave, be Rosa. So if her story moves you, if her strength inspires you, if you believe one voice still matters, like, comment, share her strength, and subscribe for more stories that stir the soul and remind us we all have the power to rise, even when we sit still. Subscribe your book dose.